Now this is a gorgeous evening view of our amusement park island, and to the left you can see that London Eye just shining brightly there, and we also have the observation tower. And this building is just a normal IT building, which is that tall, and it's all lit up. And here is a monorail station. Let's say you were riding this monorail, and then you would go into this stop, and this monorail station comes with a warning to all parents passing through to cover or divert your children's attention. Otherwise, your child will become like a deer in front of headlights, and they would just be mesmerized by the pretty lights. And next thing you know, they would want to get down at the stop, and you will never hear the end of it. Look at that. Just look at how that light shines of this. I actually never knew that the Sparkly Unicorn Park lights up this way, and this is an excellent use of this asset. Look at all those fireworks, and in the distance we have the Lord Chirpwick Castle. We have not reached the final milestone, but just for the purpose of this cinematics, I decided to put that in so you have an idea on what the final look would be. And look at all those spinny things. Yep, this is why I would visit, just for all those spinny things. Now, one of the saddest truths of building any park is that you put so much effort, and at the end there's little to no one visiting your park. And it almost seems futile to even make a park. So let's check out how many people are visiting this park. That is a lonely 6 people, and our expenses is definitely much more than our income. But there is a vanilla solution to fix this other than just clicking that policy to make it to a main park. So there is a way to get people to visit. That is definitely much more like it. Look at all those people coming down and actually using the keys to from the top to the bottom level. That is absolutely awesome. And let's check out how many people are actually going through this. 177, and we got more people. It's not a whole lot of money, but it's definitely better than an empty park. And let's check, we're not even using that main park policy, and that's how you want to do this. But before we do this, we got to create that park. This is Captain Ahvious, and welcome to Designing an Island Amusement Park, episode 20. When creating a tiered island, it is only logical to start on the highest tier and work your way down. This is only a 2-level island because Total Madness has not sinked in deep enough to create multiple levels without any mods. However, creating a tiered city with mods offline is super fun that I forgot to deactivate the Move It mod. No worries, I did not use Move It in this playthrough. We started by creating a road network and used these parking slot blocks as guides for the staired keys. I also placed in the amusement park side gate in order to measure the half circle of the key. We will temporarily use this modern art museum, which is the same exact size as the Lord Chirpwick Castle that unlocks in the final milestone of 70,000 population. This bunker is an asset that comes with the map. I could easily delete it, but throughout the entire playthrough of this series, I have built around all map assets, which is an additional challenge. This is the first time that I have kept all map assets, and if you think about it, it is actually quite cool. The top level of the key is extremely smooth, and it is only fair that the bottom tier is just as smooth. Raise the ground level slowly yet surely until it is as close as possible to the bottom level of the key. Do not forget to use roads as guides for your keys and leave at least 1 unit space between the road and the key. Since the castle of Lord Chirpwick has a rocky or mountainous base, I decided to maintain that theme for the back end and opted to use rocks instead of making the key completely wrap around the island. Know your assets by looking closely at their built-in features, which may give you ideas on how to build around them. While creating the lower level of the key, I tried to position the rocks to curve along with the key to make it look like it transitioned naturally. Notice how I've planned the exact positioning of the pair staircases which are directly parallel across from each other. Make sure you consider and finalize the positioning of your stairs before you fill in the lower level with soil, otherwise you will find yourself having to redo the water moat. You know what? I just realized that I completely forgot to explain that in vanilla, in order to create keys on dry land, you first need to create a moat with water. A shoreline is a requirement to place down keys, then after you have positioned your keys, simply fill in the moat with dirt and you get your key on land without mods. It will take you a hot minute to do in vanilla, whereas in with key anarchy and move it mod, it will only take a few seconds. I seem to have miscomputed the parking slot blocks, but fortunately we have ample space to remedy errors. These zones will be the 2x2 Edison Hypercharger and the 3x2 free charger EV charging from the organic and local produce commercial specialization. I kind of screwed up there and misclicked the top ground level with the intention to expand the level on the lower ground. So let's zoom in and re-smooth that surface. It may not be completely flat, but our guide is the bottom level of the key. To make the key walkable from the upper to the lower level, first disable snapping. Then from the bottom key, create a path going to the key as close as possible. Then from the upper key, apply the same path going to the key, then extend the path to the side of the key. It's weird, I know, but that is how it works, so go figure. I tried to create a path going to the left, but it destroyed the connection to the key, so I had to completely cancel that idea. In any case, I wanted to add 2 roller coasters, and while on the top level of the key will be a neat spot to watch people screaming at the top of their lungs. At the monorail station, or rather in all major stations, is where I place unique buildings or anything of interest to make your stops much more interesting and entertaining, especially when traveling throughout the city. In this case, I am placing the amusement park assets as close as possible to the station, and I am also placing the assets with the most lights during the night right in front of the station. This sparkly unicorn rainbow asset appears to perfectly merge with the amusement park. Another generic vanilla asset that I like to merge with the amusement park are the generic carousels, which I placed on the second level. That's like a freebie for visitors before entering the gate, or something to keep your children amused while waiting in line to purchase your entrance tickets. Notice how I did not finalize the wrapping of the key around the island. I find it more efficient to build around the monorail station and fill it in with all the amusement park assets as needed. Then after, we can consider finalizing the key. If you wrapped your keys around the island before placing down assets, there is a chance that you will miscompute the space needed for your assets and will therefore need to re-expand your island and redo your keys. Essentially, when working with islands, either start from one end to the other or from the inside out, but never build going inwards. This is an isolated island with no direct road connection to the mainland. Therefore, this island will need its own garbage and death care facilities. In regards to crime or fire on the island, there are always the police and fire helicopters that can fly into the island and scoop up the criminals or extinguish fires. It is not good business to have a burning amusement park or criminals running around, so make sure that your city has police and fire helicopter stations. In regards to amusement park walking paths design, I tend to lean towards a grid simply because the building assets look much more favorable to be attached to a straight than a curved road, especially when the built-in tiles of the assets have a colorful yet precise pattern which you'd want to follow. I also placed the shortest height buildings directly in front of the station, while the heights of the assets gradually incline as it goes further away from the station. It appears that I have extra space to plop down more assets, but this is on a slope, and amusement park buildings do not conform to slopes. Therefore, I decided to fill in the empty space with rocks and trees. Furthermore, by adding more duplicate park assets will also increase the operational cost of the park, and we haven't even checked if there are ample visitors in the park to at least break even the expenses. Now that we have majority of the inner island filled in except the detailing, we can now finalize the size and completely wrap the rest of the island with quays. And I would also have to consider the height of the sea level before choosing what quay to use. This monorail pillar is directly in the way of our quay, and the remedy for this is to simply create two other pillar points but not too far away from each other. Then delete the section of the track of where you want to remove the pillar, then reconnect the track with the new pillar points. For this amusement park island, I am aiming to make the quays with the widest curves, and I am also trying to compact the island as small as possible. This would create wider gaps for our rivers and have more ample space for the ferries and fishing ships to travel. It appears that we also have the same exact issue on this side of the track, where the pillars are directly in the path of our quays. Again, we are simply going to create two pillar nodes across from the pillar that we want to delete, then simply reattach the track to the new pillar points. Finally, the wraparound is complete, and we can now experiment to decide on which quay to use depending on the sea level. These wide quays with stairs appears to be the best choice. However, the height totally changes when it gets closer to the original starting point, and it is too high for my taste. We will want to bring it back down, and I want to try something different by adding the soil back to the quay, at least until there's no longer any water on the lower level. Then we are going to do some experimental quay detailing by adding a rock border followed by planting some pink trees, which goes well with the amusement park. And of course, we will replicate the same custom quay design to the other side of the island by placing down the wide quay with stairs until the lowest level of the quay is raised higher than necessary. Then we will clean up the lower level of the quay by removing the triangle stairs and eliminating any excess soil, followed by adding soil to connect the wide quay with stairs to the lower level, then create our rock wall, and finally plant in our pink trees. It is about time that we deal with the constant garbage complaints by placing down a trash facility. There was also an unexpected fatality in the Sparkly Unicorn Park. So in any isolated areas which is not connected to the main city, you will need both a garbage and death care facility. A crematorium should more than suffice for this small island. I removed the power lines which was in the middle of the island, and we are going to utilize a fishing pier to connect the power to jump from the mainland to the amusement park island. Let us of course not forget to add in that crematorium, which is the last service building that is needed to keep this island operational without any outside connections. The island is really starting to come together because it has a neat quay that wraps around the coastline, and there are also two levels of the island, which makes for a new and unique way for Sims to travel on walking paths on different levels. We have also provided service facilities to maintain the island operations, and there is also a transportation with the use of monorails. I would love to use the new train hubs from the Trains Content Creator Pack, but this map does not have any outside train connections, and we have filled up majority of the tiles. I am still trying to contemplate on how I can naturally incorporate the new station hubs. Keyword here is natural. I do not want to force a hub into the city when it is not necessary. We could always use the new hubs in a new season. I have planted down our dark green conifer trees with light green alder trees as highlights, and we will now dive in a little closer to detailing. The trickiest part about detailing with the amusement park tile is that they have to line up properly, otherwise it would look a bit off. The ground tiles basically forces you to design as a grid, which is completely fine. Now I will leave you guys for about a minute or so to enjoy the soothing ASMR sounds of fast-forwarded city skylines plopping down of assets, and when I get back, we will analyze and discuss the final outcome of the island park. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the park detailing. Now let's check out the detailing that we did for our amusement park. And first, let's look at this. I liked how we kind of adjusted it so that it doesn't just end end abruptly. At least now there's something there. So in case you walk up there, you can. What is this actually? So this is a restroom, which is fitting. You know, after you get down the roller coaster, you may want to use that. And this is an amusement park cafe, which is pretty neat. You know, the parents can hang out here while watching their children scream in terror. That looks like an appropriate spot. And oh, I made this thing, but I missed to place down trees. Hold on a minute. Alright, so this, however, I tried to plant trees here, but it is actually way too close. So, and also this thing here, you may notice me trying to bring this closer so that there is no large gap here. I could try to move it more to the middle, like shift everything to the left, but then that would make a space on this side, so that doesn't really fix things. And that is because of this. If you can see the highlight of the blue area, uh, that opens up a tiny little gap here, which translates all the way across here. So this, we're gonna do some critical vanilla thinking on how to fix this. So we have these little gaps. Would be nice if we could plant the like bushes or some small trees, and we're gonna try to do this. One way to do this, I would propose first. Let's try to remove this so that we don't actually need that pathway there. And here, so that is actually connected up there. So if we could move all of this down, let's try to move it naturally. So unfortunately we have to redo the whole thing, but that would work to our benefit. So where can I put this? I'll just place it here for the meantime. And that sort of fixed the problem. So now we don't have to worry so much about this. We can just slightly adjust that and fill this in. So what I did was, instead of connecting that together, and as you can see, it does not align perfectly because isn't a perfect spot. As you can see, there's some gaps, but this is the best we can do. At least it kind of fixed that area. Hold on, we actually missed to detail this. And there we are. That actually improved that a little bit. We just kind of remove some pathways. Oh, let's return that rock. And I also want to remove some of the trees here because we want to showcase this. Let's see if there's anything else that we missed. This area they seem kind of lonely, like they're not attached to the park. So let's extend the tiles here. So that flickers a little bit. I think the others does flicker as well. So we're just gonna ignore that. But it is about the same location. We could also add in other park assets from the park or the city park. So for example, you can add in these things, food stalls. And let's not forget about detailing this side. So I kind of missed this one, and that should end the detailing portion of the amusement park. And this is the final outcome of our amusement park island, and I'm pretty satisfied with the design. We got this really wide quay with stairs, which looks pretty neat, and then it transitions into this custom made quay which lowers down to this one. However, this has a different size, so I think I will just revert back to just the normal bottom there. I think that's exactly the same way on this side. And yes, the way this curves around here, which looks pretty natural. It looks like it, if it was an actual key, it would be the same exact direction. What else do we have? And we also have this second layer, and you see this person going down, hopefully. There he is. He went down. He went left first because we have this pathway. See them going there? But if we remove this, notice how it will no longer work. It's very bizarre. Watch. Then they just head back instead of just going straight. That guy just retreated because the pathway no longer connects. So it's really weird. So you need this pathway to go down for some reason. Oh no, I think it's broken now. There you go. So that should reconnect and it should function again. So the question remains though is, so we have this really nice park that we built, but is it profitable? That is the main question. So let's go check it out. We only have 2 visitors. That might have been the 2 people that went down. So this is really sad, and this happens a lot, right? You make a park, nobody visits. There are ways to make people visit, like for example, you put on a policy adding the main park, but there is other tricks that you can do. You could have, let's say, a residential area in the middle, and so that they would, in order to get in, they would have to use the gate, or you would have a commercial area, which would also make sense because you come down and maybe they want to do some shopping. But if you add in a commercial area, you need goods going into this isolated island, which there is no connection going downwards, right? So I didn't opt to that, but we will fix this, and that is when we get to finally connect our tram line. So I'm gonna connect it right over here. And finally, we get to attach or actually activate our tram line. And this will be just a simple route. And I will further elaborate on how it's going to flow. So for now, we are just going to make it go in one direction. So when I put down our stops, I try to find places where there is another stations. For instance, here I'm placing one there so that when people get off, they can just take this one. Same goes over here. I'm gonna put one around here so that when they get down in here, they can just go across, ride that one, and then from here we'll just kind of put it right there. And then here, of course, we wanna be able to stop at the Arc de Triomphe right there, and going along there. And lastly, right in front of our Amusement Park Island, and then we'll just, instead of putting it directly on the other side, I'm gonna scatter the other stops a little further back so that it is slightly different. So from here, instead of there, I can put a stop here. Instead of there, I'll retrace back just a little bit. And we will wrap it up here, and that should work. I intend to add more stops, but for now our focus is on the island. I could also create here, so that will be for another episode. But the thing is, we just want to see if this works. So we'll wait a few until people start to realize that there's a new transportation, and let's see if that improves the number of visitors. And look at all those people going down from the tram and entering the gate in order to get to the monorail station. Some people would consider this a cheat, but let's check out how much we're getting. We got 200 people compared to just the 2, and we're earning 8,000, which isn't a huge big deal. But some people definitely considers the human toll booth vanilla hack as a cheat. But why would you consider this a cheat when there is things like traffic manager, move it, which is becoming a norm and not heavily criticized compared to having a vanilla hack such as this. We are not in dire need of money, definitely not, but I also do not like to have an empty park just having 2 people. I mean, you got to think about the mascots, right? Where's a mascot? Where are those dudes? Let's find the mascot. Like that guy, right? I mean, he's doing his job. His job is to wear something hot and do cartwheels. And if I'm gonna be doing that all day, I'd at least have somebody watch me do cartwheels while in an alligator costume. You know, bring your kids, right? So I do this for the mascot dude. Yeah, there. Look at that. Look at all those people. This looks definitely a lot better than having an empty park. I mean, I made all this effort. So, and this took a lot of planning. If you think about it, I think I had this island empty for many episodes. Probably in, I don't know, episode 6 or even 8. We are now at episode 20. I would have been able to connect this. What happened there? Did I? No, it's not broken. It's just error, I guess. Yeah, I've had that there for quite a long time, and we've never connected it. It was only until now where we've done so much on this side of the map, and it's time to kind of revert back and wrap things up so that we could move forward to the right side. So yeah, the upcoming episodes would definitely just fill this out and trying to fix other things, and also go back and add in the actual tram stops, because I realized we're like way more than halfway point of the series, and I haven't even finalized or placed down any tram lines, which is very, very awkward. Again, so what do you guys think? Do you think a human toll booth vanilla hack is considered more of a cheat compared to using Move It mod or Traffic Manager? Let me know down in the comments. Until then, this is Captain Ahvious. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next episode.